Hello, I'm Ceri. I work for Muscular Dystrophy UK on their Changing Places team, and you've joined us here today at Doncaster Cycle Track, where we're going to take a look inside one of the Changing Places facilities provided by Rise Adaptations. So inside the facility, we can see that we've got a nice big open space, 4 meters by 3 meters, and kitted out with some really important equipment for Changing Places users. Okay, so firstly, in a Changing Places room, we need an adult-sized changing bench. So this is a 6-foot bench, and typically this one is a wall-mounted bench. Sometimes we can have freestanding ones. Wall-mounted bench folds down and is height adjustable with a handset. And above it, we can see the ceiling track hoist. This hoist covers the full footprint of the room, so that a wheelchair user can be lifted and transferred from their wheelchair from any point in the room onto the bench or onto the toilet behind me. Again, the hoist is operated by a handset, and it has a spreader bar with a loop attachment, which is universal for wheelchair user hoists. Showers aren't mandatory in a Changing Places facility, but they are really useful for many users who need changing, and maybe if they've soiled themselves, especially in sports and leisure facilities like this location. So this shower is like similar to a domestic shower, but the hose attached to it is long enough to be able to wash somebody who's lying on the changing bench. And also next to it, a white paper roll dispenser which can be used to cover the bench for anybody being changed. Obviously inside a Changing Places toilet, we have a standard toilet, this time with a different coloured toilet seat so that visually impaired users can easily identify the toilet, and additionally grab rails either side which drop down, and wall mounted ones as well. Next to the toilet, we have one of 2 red emergency alarm cords, the other being at the doorway on the way out, and these should hang within 10 centimetres of the floor. And in the corner here, a small shelf which might be used by somebody with a stoma or colostomy bag who are using the facility. Also important in a Changing Places is a privacy screen. This facility has got a mobile privacy screen. Sometimes we see wall-mounted ones. This is particularly useful when carers or family members need to use the toilet while the person they're assisting is waiting in the room because they can't be left unattended. Next to the toilet, we've got a wash basin. A little different to what we might have at home because this one is height adjustable. So with a simple switch on the right hand side, this one can be manoeuvred up and down to suit the height of a wheelchair user or a standing user. A simple tap with a lever arm adjustment. And again, wall mounted grab rails for somebody to be able to steady themselves if they're standing to use the sink. A soap dispenser, and on the other side we've got both paper towels and a hand dryer. Some of our users may not like the noise that's produced by a hand dryer, so the paper towels are always offered as an alternative. And finally, at this end of the room, we've got a full-length mirror. That's important so that a wheelchair user can see themselves in the mirror in order to dress themselves or tidy themselves before they leave the room. And on my right, we've got some coat and bag hooks. Again, important that they are at 2 different heights, for somebody who may be standing or a wheelchair user sitting in their seat so they can be accessed. In the corner here near the door, we've got another emergency alarm pull cord. If somebody is on their way out of the room and slips, falls, then they've got another cord that's more accessible to them. And the lock on this facility, similar to most Changing Places, is a radar key lock. Most users will have access to a radar key through their local council or disability provider, and these radar keys access most of the Changing Places in the UK. A lovely feature of this particular facility is the feature wall, and frequently venues ask for a wall just to be able to mark out their particular features unique to them. So here we've got 2 cyclists at the Doncaster Cycle Track. Other feature walls may include scenes or landscape shots of the venue where the facility is located. So thanks for joining us here in the Changing Places at Doncaster Cycle Track. This one is a modular facility, typical of the layout that Rise put in their facilities. Other adaptations of other similar rooms will have the same equipment, but maybe in slightly different layout.